Hey everyone, having a little trouble sleeping, so I thought I'd make a video to once again emphasize that the little things in life are sometimes the most important things that we can experience. When I was about 19 years old, a friend of mine had been curious about how I had stopped drinking soda. He noticed I had lost a lot of weight from not drinking soda, and he wanted to try some healthier habits. And he and I both like to drink non alcoholic beer. And after drinking non alcoholic beer, we would like to pretend to act drunk. So one day we were hanging around Oakland, where we were both going to school at the University of Pittsburgh, and we were drinking beer. And then after we would finish drinking one bottle, we would throw it onto the street and break glass just to pretend to act drunk. And he and I, he was trying to learn to speak Chinese at the time. And in Chinese, the number four is kind of unlucky because it sounds like the word for death. And he and I had this contest of seeing who could go longer without saying the number four. And we would ask each other math questions that involved the number four, and we had to resist saying it. And every time one of us said four, I don't know where he came up with this idea that if he said four by mistake, he would have to go 4 minutes without speaking again, or else he would die. He would have bad luck or something. So he would go silent for 4 minutes, and if he got really unlucky and he said four twice in a row before he caught it, he had to go silent for 16 minutes. So he had to multiply them together. And one time he did it four times before he realized that he had said four. So it was four times four times four times four. So he didn't speak for almost 4 hours. So it's good memory. It was a good memory. We were drinking beer and going about not saying four. I had another classmate of mine who made me laugh because of his attitude. He this was 10 years ago when online poker was more common. I think nowadays it's only legal in certain states or certain circumstances at least. I'm not sure, but he and some of his classmates were playing poker online, and for some reason his friend didn't have a account, didn't have a credit card or something. So his friend would use my friend's account, and then they would set him up with cash. And so a couple months after they had started playing poker, I was at my friend's birthday party, and quite a few people came to his party. My friend, he's not as health conscious as the other friend I'm talking about. So he was drinking soda, he was eating birthday cake, and his girlfriend shows up, and lots of fun events show up, and but his eyes really lit up when his friend his gambling buddy had come up to show up to pay him a gambling debt that his friend had owed him. I think it was about $1,000 or $2,000. And as soon as he took the money from his eyes really lit up. He much more so than when he saw his girlfriend. Because we were going to school like halfway across the state. And much more so than when he saw his girlfriend. Much more so than all the other exciting events at the birthday party. So it was just very iconic to watch, is what I'm trying to point out. And How was that? I recently had some issues that taught me that we have to think about what's actually important. I I I have this kind of hatred of paying bank fees. I made a video a couple weeks ago about an ATM fee. And more so lately, banks have been charging you for not having a regular direct deposit. I have very irregular jobs, and I change jobs often, and I just hate getting dinged all those fees, especially if the reason I'm getting dinged those fees is because I'm temporarily in between jobs. That's like the worst time I want to get charged any kind of fee, right? And so I haven't had a local bank account for some time. I have an account with Discover Bank. Okay, and it's not normally a problem. They give you a bank account number They give you checkbooks, and you can direct deposit into it. It's usually not a big problem. The problem comes when somebody gives me a paper check of any sort. They don't have very user-friendly apps to upload the pictures of checks. They used to. I don't know why they got rid of it. Probably too much fraud or something. It's kind of funny because it wasn't for a whole lot of money, but one time I accidentally deposited a $20 check into the account twice, and I didn't notice it until months later, and I told Discover about it, and somehow I kept both of them anyway, so maybe too much of that going on of some sort, and in any case, it gives me a lot of trouble every time somebody gives me a check. About a year and a half ago, I went to buy a car, a Mitsubishi Lancer that I'm still driving today. And here in Washington State, when you buy a car, you pay an estimated amount of tax, and then there's a refund that the car dealer gets, and then they send you a check, and it was only for $20 or $30. I wasn't in a hurry to deposit it, so it just sat in my glove compartment. And then 6 months later, they're like, "You haven't deposited your check." And they sent me another check, and a year and a half later, I still haven't deposited that check. That's how ridiculous it has gotten. I went to switch insurance companies a while ago, and I still have a $400 refund check that I haven't deposited, and then I have a tax refund of a bunch that I still haven't deposited. It's just ridiculous. I just need to mail it somewhere, but I just haven't gotten around to it. And then I have a check for my workplace, a previous workplace before I got direct deposits. And it's just over trying to avoid $20, $30, $40 of fees. Like all these checks I haven't done. It's just ridiculous. I just have to find the address of where to send these checks to. But most days I'm just so busy writing computer games that I don't want to interrupt my train of thought. Oh, those aren't the worst cases. The worst cases is when I'm dealing with a client and they're paying me with checks that I'm never depositing. It gives a wrong impression. I had this one client, and I ended up having to ask. She got really embarrassed by it that she offered to give me cash. I gave her the checks back, but it's just ridiculous. I mean, I need to find some other solution to this, or I'm losing a lot more money than the fees. I just have this hatred of bank fees, and. Anyways, it's kind of funny how it turned out. It's just kind of funny. What else has been going on recently? A while ago, I went to see the meteor shower, but it was so we had this wildfires here in Washington, so nothing could really be seen except for it was easy to look at the sun because the wildfires would just kind of grayed out the skies, so that was an experience in itself. What else has been going on? Anyways, what I'm trying to point out is all of these could be really frustrating situations, but it's important that we take some humor away from it as well. It's really how you play the cards that you're dealt with in life. Thanks for watching.